Hi, Stuff and Nonsense students. So I have a new topic to talk to you about today. It's related to Alice and it's food, which is, I'm sure, a source of great interest to all of you these days since it's a big part of our lives, right? Getting food, getting home safely, eating healthy. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is there's food in children's literature. It's all over children's literature. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Hansel and Gretel, the fairy tale, has a candy house, which of course is every child's fantasy. Let's think of more. In the story of what are they eating? In the Three Little Pigs, that's one of the ways that the wolf tries to trick the pigs. One is to go apple picking. Speaking of apples, there's the poison apple in Sleeping Beauty or Snow White? Anyway, poison apples. There's food all over children's literature. So our question for today is, how come? What does food represent in children's stories? There's going to be food in Alice. We have the marmalade jar. We have the drink me liquid. There's the tea party. There's going to be many, many references to food. So first, before I start answering, I want you just in your head, think about it. Like, to a kid, what does food represent? Giving you a few seconds. I'm about to answer. Are you ready? Pleasure. Okay, so kids enjoy food, right? Think about a little kid having, when you were kids, chocolate ice cream and you got chocolate all over your face and then you lick it off, and right? And in a way, some of that pleasure, the old pleasure in food, is lost for some of us as adults, right? For those who are obsessed with their weight, or, oh my God, if I have an ice cream, I'll be so fat, or, I don't know, sugar's not healthy and I have to be a million things. I don't know, not that it's bad to be vegan or not eat ice cream, but whatever, right? But that food for a lot of grown-ups becomes a kind of source of anxiety. So it's a kind of an interesting thing. But for kids, food is still pleasure, and that should remind you of pleasurable play. It should remind you of fun, of laughter, and there's a lot of that you're going to see in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Okay. Now, the other thing that food represents, I'm trying to give you a minute so you can all answer me at the same time, even though you're not with me. So it represents something that kids are also extremely aware of, and it's one of the key themes in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Okay, it starts with G. I'm going to count how many letters. 6. Okay, 6 letters, starts with G. Food leads to, can you get it? Growth. Okay, and that's going to be, if I had to choose the one most important theme in Alice, I'd take growth. Okay, and maybe the most important theme in all of life, that we grow. And even older people like me, maybe we can still keep growing, right? So kids are very aware of this idea of when I'm grown up. And you guys are thinking about it a lot too, right? Because are you kids or are you adults, right? So growth is what we're all involved in. And also the question, are you a kid or are you an adult? What theme does that tie into? It starts with I, identity, right? So I want you to think about that too, your identity. Okay, so back to food. Food is pleasure for kids, and food also represents growth. That's super interesting in Alice, because you see when she eats, it affects her size, right? Now, we all know that if you eat, like I don't know, what are you having for supper? I'm going to make minestrone, really delicious recipe. Okay, so I'm going to eat my minestrone soup. Am I suddenly, if I have 3 bowls, am I going to get bigger or fatter? No, it doesn't happen like that, right? But kids, this is another thing. At certain periods, like the period of adolescence, like puberty, there's growth spurts. Here's your final lesson for today. Most people think Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is about childhood, like early childhood, like, 7, 8, something like that. Here's my theory. It's not at all. This is a book about puberty. It's a book about change. It's a book about growth. It's a book about caterpillars changing into butterflies, right? The theme, that the whole caterpillar thing. Oh, wait, I'll show you something. I hope you can see it. Do you see this picture? I hope you can see it. I see that in my office. Okay, right next to my computer. All right, guys, that's it for today. 4 minutes, 44 seconds. work on the forums, answer your questions. I'm working on your papers. I think I'm about a third way through. I hope to be done. Well, some of you have taken the extension until Monday. I hope to be done by the end of next week. Okay? Be careful with yourselves. Thank you for being wonderful. And keep doing our best, right? That's all we're doing. And to love people you're with. Make sure they treat you right and you treat them right. Okay? All right. Bye.